Greetings, Miss Pratt, Max, and all the members of the Star Industry Group. We learn better when everything is a game. In recent years, the field of educational technology, or EdTech, has witnessed a significant rise in the usage of gamification and game-based learning approaches. These innovative teaching methods leverage the power of game to motivate and to engage students, making learning an engaging and interactive experience. While gamification and game-based learning have their advantages, they also come with several demerits that educators and stakeholders should consider. So now we are looking at 4 advantages and 3 disadvantages in this talk. So let's go to the advantages. The first advantage is the increased engagement in students' part. One of the primary benefits of gamification in education is the ability to engage students on a deeper level. Students get really bored or do not pay attention when teachers keep droning on about their subject. That is boring, and also it is not effective. It makes students even less focused on what they are studying. By using games, students be more attentive and be more excited, engaged, and thrilled in their learning career. By incorporating game elements such as challenges, levels, rewards, competitions, students become more immersed in the learning process because they get to compete and to put their knowledge into practice. This heightened engagement leads to improved concentration, focus, and long-term knowledge retention. So instead of remembering boring lectures or listening to teachers droning on and on, students get to play games and to have rewards like candy or sometimes little tips of money. Maybe they got to compete with their friends and put their knowledge into practice. This even helps the teachers to know how good or how talented their students are. Now, the second advantage is the improved motivation in students. Gamification taps into the intrinsic motivation that games naturally elicit. By providing immediate feedback, clear goals, and continuous progress tracking, students gain a sense of achievement and satisfaction when they complete tasks or reach milestones. So, for instance, an app like VO Education helps students to learn how good they are at math. They provide immediate feedback, unlike teachers, and they also help to help set clear goals and clear objectives for students, so that they can progress into their learning career with enthusiasm. This intrinsic motivation results with increased effort and the willingness to overcome challenges, ultimately leading to enhanced learning outcomes. When students listen to teachers droning on and on and on about their subject, they will get disencouraged and they will not want to follow this subject anymore. When the teachers incorporate and implement games into their lessons, students become more excited and want to proceed instead of wanting to stop. This helps to lead to better grades and better academic performance in classes. The third advantage is the personalized learning experience. So, gamified platforms can adapt to each student's individual learning needs and preferences. So, apps like quizzes can monitor students' progress by tracking their academic performance, their lifetime, their talents, what they want, their wishes, all of that. They mark the students' processes to their goals. So this, unlike teachers or unlike tutors, which is very slow, which is much slower on the uptake, AI or artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, or the other gamified platforms using a artificial intelligence to monitor, they can eventually help students in many ways, as AI can monitor and they can collect data quickly, and they give their students much better feedback and much quicker and faster feedback. Okay, so through data analytics, these systems can identify areas of strengths and weaknesses in students by letting them doing a certain kind of test or monitoring their daily routine and behavior. These offer tailored content and provide targeted feedback. Offer and in part offer these tailored content can help students to be more encouraged in their studies, and also they provide quick key feedback so students don't get discouraged or they do not get overexcited. So this in real time situation, it is real. As a result, students receive personalized learning experiences that cater to their unique requirements, foster self-paced learning, and maximizing learning efficiency. When students apply to many normal apps, they cannot control their everyday move, but AI is super smart and it helps students to become a more sensitive, a more responsible person, as the feedback and also the effort put into what they are doing can help people to trust AI better. Okay, so the fourth is skill development. Now, this gamification system can also help students to develop new skills. For example, games usually require players a combination of cognitive skills such as problem solving. They need this skill in order to solve problems quickly and efficiently. They also need critical thinking. They need to think outside of the box in order to solve a certain problem. They also need decision making. They need to consider which answer suits their definition or suits what they are supposed to answer best. And also they need to have creativity so that they can produce a more creative and unique style of work. And also they can in this gamification app can encourage collaboration and teamwork, as students sometimes need to work together in order to get the answer or get what they are needing. Now let's move on to the demerits or the disadvantages of gamification. Now, gamification, after I have listed my advantages, may seem so brilliant that you want to try it out, but stop. Many of these disadvantages may affect you too. First is the distraction and time consuming. Even though gamification can be highly engaging and help students to be more engaged and more interactive and attentive in their classes, it runs the risk of being over distracting, which means the students can do not care, which means students can get too distracted to concentrate. Students may become engrossed in the game elements, losing sight of the educational objective that they are supposed to learn. Additionally, if not correctly implemented, gamification can consume more time than video games, especially when students become overly competitive, compromising the time allocated for actual learning. So let's imagine this scene. You and your friend are playing a completely competitive game that is supposed to help you with your adverbs. But then you and your friends get a bit too complicated, too competitive, and a bit too touchy. That is the word that I can only think of. And then you started arguing about which adverb is the correct one. And when the teacher shows the answer, there is disagreement and sneers and all of that. It distracts students away from what they are doing. It also costs time in order to release all the stress, all the strain that is being put on the students, they lead to waste of time and also lead to huge gaps in relationships. The second disadvantage is the limited applicability. Now, while gamification can be successfully implemented in certain subjects, areas, or topics, it may not be equally effective across all educational domains. That means that we cannot use gamification in order to teach in all fields of education. Some subjects may not naturally lend themselves to gamified strategies. This can be extremely difficult to students and teachers to understand when they are using the method of gaming, making it challenging to integrate gaming elements seamlessly. This is one extremely difficult challenge that the teachers in that particular subject have to solve. And the third, but not least disadvantage is the high development and maintenance costs. Now, it may not matter. It may not matter to you. It may not come to you. But setting up games and buying game apps can actually cost money. Constant updates and maintenance are necessary and also expensive. It requires extreme expertise in order to construct an efficient gaming method. Teachers have to pay monthly fee in order to prepare lessons and slides so that they can get effective learning results back from their children, from their students. So in conclusion, even though educational technology gamification system works really well on many kind of educational institutions and classes, it may not be very effective in many cases. So before thinking about integrating technology into your educational institutions, consider both the advantages and the disadvantages so that you can be sure of your decision.